I've never been to the opening of a Broadway play, let alone Shakespeare, let alone starring my godson and Denzel. And so for me, it's just, I'm giddy.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal are opening tonight in Kenny Leon's new production of Othello, and we're here with the first nighters.
You go first. You're
We
living
are
with it.
so excited. It's been like I think the biggest day of the year. It's gonna be. So I think we're all together. It's the best part of it. We get to be with family and friends. So our hearts are full. Yeah.
Well, I'm from California. I'm rarely in New York City. I'm never at the opening of a Broadway play. I've never been to the opening of a Broadway play, let alone Shakespeare, let alone starring my godson and Denzel. And so for me, it's just, I'm giddy. I'm a little giddy. And, you know, sort of Hamish, too. I'm like proud. I've known him since he was a boy. And I've watched him become a man. Yeah. And then I'm going to watch him elevate the art form tonight on stage. And I already know, but I don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Iago is one of the great characters ever written, and I get to watch someone at the sort of peak of their artistic integrity take it on in a big effing way.
Yeah. Denzel Washington is a master of this craft. He's a dear friend and my brother, and I can't wait to support him tonight, truly. And Jake. Jake is a good guy.
Oh, this is great. I mean, I'm back home. I'm in the theater tonight to get to watch the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Mr. Denzel Washington. So I'm super excited. And to get to support Kenny Leon, who I've worked with twice now, and did Shakespeare with, Much Ado About Nothing in the Park. So I'm really excited about seeing what they put together today.
No, it's exciting because you have something that's, Broadway's been around since the 1800s. So whenever you can kind of infuse new energy, new joy, new interest in this medium of theater, but theater on this level, Broadway, it's a whole different thing. And I have to mention my boy, a friend of mine, Neil Bledsoe, is in the play tonight too. So I'm excited for him, his Broadway debut.
You know what? I think this is great. You know, bringing Jake and Denzel in, and it's a whole new generation coming to Broadway. We need that. It's fresh blood. It's fresh eyes. It's fresh dreams. So this is everything that we need. I'm loving it.
I am so excited. First of all, if Denzel is in anything, he could read the phone book. I'm coming. So I'm thrilled. I am really excited.
Just one of the classic Shakespeare plays of all time. To be able to see him doing this is just going to be thrilling. And Jake Gyllenhaal, it's just a great cast. Yeah.
I think that as we become more consumed with our devices, it's important that we have this continuum of literature that we reach back to that reminds us of our potential. Yeah. And I think that that's what Shakespeare does. You know, the average person has a 6,000 word vocabulary. Shakespeare's was, I think, 24,000, 26,000. And so we can expand on that. And I think that's what these plays do. They ask you to expand your range of language and imagination. And if we're all just like doing half-hour sitcoms, which are wonderful, it limits our range. And I think that's what I love. I also love the fact that I can do something that somebody else did 400 years ago. There's something about being a part of that continuum that feels special to me.
Every time someone reinterprets a piece, and especially something as tried and true and tested as Shakespeare, it's always something fresh and new. That's the beauty of live theater. So I can't wait to see. I've heard a few things. I'm not going to spoiler alert, but I've heard a few things about the time period, the setting, that, where they've set it. I'm just so curious to see how the themes of this show resonate, right now.
It's so interesting that this was written hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and Mr. Shakespeare could have written this yesterday.
Yeah, the past is prologue, my friend. Yeah. The past is prologue, for sure.
What I love about this show is there's a younger audience coming to this show that has never experienced theater before, like we all did when we first started out. Yeah. What that means to you as an artist?
Everything, because we need to get out of the house and support art, away from our couches. And it's fantastic that, streaming services provide so much material for all of us to see. But, we're tribal. We're human beings that need to be around each other and need to uplift each other, and that's what Broadway does. And so it's just really heartwarming to see the excitement over this one play. It's really amazing.
You've worked with Kenny Leon numerous times with the director. What's it like collaborating with him on a project?
Oh, Kenny is an amazing collaborator and, so respectful, warm. We did Raisin in the Sun on Broadway. We also did The Wiz Live for NBC, and had a ball with that. So, Kenny is, he's a king. He is top, I always love working with him.
You know what's great about this show? It's introducing a whole new younger audience, not only to the theater, but to Shakespeare and what that means to you as artists.
Like us, young people like us. It's great. It's great to keep having younger people come to the theater, and that's why it's so important, I think, to reinvent Shakespeare and bring him back in different ways, in ways that are more what's the word? Relevant. Exactly. That's exactly the word. That's where I married her to the times.
And to see where they're going with it, right? You have to embrace it. It's theirs. It's all of ours. Shakespeare's for everybody, and therefore art is for everybody. And what do they want to say through it? What messages are they pulling that we don't even see yet? And that's what's exciting about all of this as we look to a new theater and more voices coming forward with just different perspectives. The more the better. The more the better.